to your Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna, a global force for transformation, unlocking human potential one leader at a time. Are you looking for a boost to help you reclaim your personal power? Then this is your weekly source, where we dive into conversations about navigating your professional and life journey. So, take a deep breath, open up your heart, and get ready to ignite your leadership and fuel your spirit. Let's go. Welcome back to my Personal Power Boost. I'm Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. For those of you who are brand new, welcome. I'm so glad you came. Please listen in, and I hope that this podcast will be helpful to you. And please, if you like it, subscribe and tell your family and friends to do the same. And I will be as helpful as I possibly can for you. My mission in life is simply to empower you to excellence in your life. I want you to have an excellent life. And I want you to have a fun life too. I want you to enjoy your life. And you get one. You get one on this side of eternity. So you might as well enjoy it. And to enjoy life, being excellent really does make a difference. For those of you who are my returners, good to see you. So glad you're back. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Remember, and give me a high five. Tell 5 of your friends to do the same. And we'll go from there. All right. So, children, question. Are children born afraid? Interesting question, isn't it? Are children born afraid? When children are born, are they afraid? Well, let's talk about that, because that has something to do with your becoming your most excellent self. And it's a 4-letter word. But first, let's go ahead and do our affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to. Why? Because it was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. And no matter what anyone says or what anyone does to me, none of that can ever change. I am forever a valuable, important, lovable, and powerful person, powerful woman in this earth. That's who I am, and that's who you are too. So this 4-letter word is called fear. Interesting. What is the thing that keeps most people from getting to their next level? What is it? And what's so interesting to me is that children, if you watch young children, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of anything. They'll try anything. They'll just go for it. They're not afraid of people. They're not afraid of things. They'll just go for it. Young children have so much courage. You know why? No one taught them to be afraid yet. We were taught how to be afraid. You were socialized into fear. And not only that, but fear is in every part of our society. It's everywhere you look. If you watch just 5 minutes of television, and I don't care if you're on TikTok or you're on social media or you're on YouTube or you're on some streaming, no matter where. If you watch anything for about 5 minutes and you start clicking through channels, you're going to find something, some show, some person, someone, some situation that is telling you to be fearful. It is telling you that something is going to happen to you. Something is going to go wrong. Something isn't right? And as a result, we get socialized to be fearful people. Now, someone once said, and I don't know who it is, but it's used a lot, is that fear is false evidence appearing as real. Most of what you fear is literally in your mind. It is in your mind. It is not real. It is an illusion. And life is playing games with your mind. So what I want you to do is I want you to learn how to go in your mind, take out that fear and face it. Just look at it and just stare it down right? And let it know that you're not afraid of it. You're not afraid of anything in your life. You're not afraid of anyone in your life. You're not afraid of any situation. Why? Because you have what you, listen to me carefully, you already have what you need to deal with it. And so, why are we so afraid? What is it that's keeping you from getting to your next level? Why are we so afraid? Right? In my Change Your Life, the 30-day book, I'm just gonna read a couple of statements. How much energy and time do you give to your fears? How much time do you spend wondering and worrying about what if someone says something? What if someone doesn't like me? What if something goes wrong? What if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? Listen to me. It's all fear. What is going to happen is for you to move your life forward, you will have to face your fear. That's very simple. I can start the podcast right there. Just you have to face your fear. And when you face your fear, you have to face it asking some questions. First of all, where did that come from? Where did it come from? What is the root of the fear? And what you have to do, because fear is like a tree, and it's somehow, some way, it gets planted into your psyche, it gets planted into your heart, it gets planted into your spirit, and it grows. And until you dig it up, you have to go and dig that thing up, and you got to pull it out of your life. That's what you've got to do with fear. Pull it out, and you can't just pull out the top of it, like when you're trying to I know when I weed sometimes, and I'm getting tired and my hands are getting tired, I end up just kind of popping off the top of the weeds. Well, you know what? The next day the weed is back. Why? Because I didn't get to the root. That's why. That fear is still there. You laugh it off, you drink it off, you dope it off, you have relationships it off, you're promiscuous and you're just sleeping with everyone and everything, but the fear is still there. Huh? It's still there. Why? Because you haven't gotten the root of it. You haven't gone down and dug up what is it that fear is all about in your life. What's the seed of it? What's the root of that fear? You got to figure that out. Once you figure out the root of that fear, now you can start doing some work. But first thing is first, one simple question. For you to get to your next level, you're going to have to overcome fear. Question: what are you afraid of? Next question: why? Next question: where did that fear come from? And here's your homework. Start digging. Start digging into the earth of your life. Start digging into your mind. Start digging into your heart, your soul, your spirit, and find the root of that thing, of that fear. Find out who put it there. Find out how it got there. Find out how you keep it there. Because fear needs water, just like a tree. You got to water that thing. And every time you worry about it, you're getting panic attacks about it, you're depressed about it, you're complaining about it, but nothing's changing in your life. You're stuck. Why? Because you're afraid. Here's what I want you to do. Do the work of rooting up the fear in your life. Get it out of your life. It is just an illusion. That's all it is. And once you get beyond that, you're going to be just fine. As a matter of fact, you're going to feel liberated. As a matter of fact, you're going to feel like a new person. Why? Because you use your power to root and pull up that fear at the root. That's what you did. And life is going to change. It's going to change fast. This is not an easy word. All of us have to do this work. And until you start doing this work of pulling up, uprooting the fear in your life, some things won't change. But as soon as you start doing this work, you're going to see major changes in your life. All right. I hope this was helpful. share it with a friend, share it with a neighbor, and you start doing the work. And please go to my website, drvernaprice.com. Send me a note, send me a comment. Go to my socials, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you land, and send me a note and let me know how this podcast is helping you in your life at home, in your life with your family, in your life at work. All right? Okay, let's go ahead and finish up with the affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because this life was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. That's right. You got what you need to face this fear and get beyond it and get to your next level. All right. Bye. See you next time. If today's episode spoke to you, and you know it's time for a shift in how you lead, how your team connects, or how your culture performs, I want to personally invite you to take the next step. Book a free consultation at drvernaprice.com/work-with-me and explore your next keynote, your leadership workshop, or executive coaching. It's time to get your power back, and it is time to get to your next level.